Welcome to today's podcast slash videos. Well, I guess podcasts can be videos, right? Every podcast came from a video. No, podcast. No, not anymore. I just always think like number one podcast in the world, Joe Rogan, and he always has like videos. But I guess you take the video, the sound out of the video to do a podcast.
Maybe we don't.
We don't.
We just do both at the same time. We give it to you unedited.
You know what I'm excited for?
You get what you get.
Are you excited for?
If we fight, you're going to get it.
If we fight, you are going
That's
to get
what you will get.
You will receive the tension of on-air fighting.
This is a podcast about addiction. A little bit of codependency.
Is codependency addiction? Is it like the worst one?
I think it's the worst one.
It is. I believe it is too. What are you excited for today?
I like our LifeLab meeting at noon. I really appreciate that. I like our
open recovery LifeLab meeting.
Yeah, our open recovery meeting.
Guess who's speaking today?
All addictions. You're speaking.
Yeah. Your number one fan.
Yeah.
I'm excited for something very different. And again, it's relatable to food. And so I took out a pork cheddar. The first time I had pork cheddar was in Vancouver. Do you remember the pork cheddar in Vancouver?
Yeah, the sandwich restaurant.
The sandwich restaurant. I remember that moment very clearly with the mustard on our cutting board plate. It was one of those cool hipster places. And it was a beautiful thing with the crunchy and the filled center. Oh,
that's what you're making me for supper today?
I think so, yes.
I'm excited.
Mm-hmm. So I bought one at the grocery store.
I know you did. I was with you.
Thanks for being with me at the grocery store.
So that's what we're having for supper today. I thought that we should probably talk a little follow-up to yesterday. Because yesterday, during our video, there was some discussion of, what was your topic yesterday morning? We kicked it off with a little bit of self-motivating talk. And then there was brief
my inability, my what did I call it? My steadfastness? No, it was my
stick-to-itness.
My stick-to-itness sucks.
Yeah, and then we had a conversation. Then there was a little talk about like an arrangement. One could call it a date that was arranged, a date to go on a walk at 2:30, and you invited the people to check in with you.
And this is going farther than I had thought.
How that went. So I'm just curious how that went. Our little 2:30 date that we had to go for a walk. How'd that go?
I'm going to get into our reading.
Do you want to tell the people what you did?
We left at 2:30. We left to go out the door at 2:30.
I came downstairs and you were leaving.
Okay, so
and I texted you before you left the driveway.
When people go for walks, do they have to leave the house? So I left the house at 2:30, and you weren't there.
I came downstairs,
and so
and you were getting in the car.
Me and my fellow partner,
and I texted
decided to go and run a couple errands, and we didn't do the walk.
Mm-hmm. So moving right along into our reading.
So my stick-to-itness is something that I just need to keep working on.
I just thought we should just...
On my own power.
Tell the people.
I don't have much. But on God's power, I can do all things.
Apparently not.
No.
What are you missing then?
God's power.
Today's reading is letting go of sadness.
You know what I never miss? Meals.
Ever.
Stick-to-itness on that.
Or seconds.
Stop it. I don't need to. Do I? I don't know.
Just kidding. All right.
Wednesday is already hard.
Letting go of sadness. A block to joy and love can be unresolved sadness from the past. In the past, we told ourselves many things to deny the pain. It doesn't hurt that much. Maybe if I just wait, things will change. It's no big deal. I can get through this. Maybe if I try to change the other person, I won't have to change myself. We denied that it hurt because we didn't want to feel the pain. Unfinished business doesn't go away. It keeps repeating itself until it gets our attention, until we feel it, deal with it, and heal. That's one lesson we are learning in recovery from codependency and adult children issues. Many of us didn't have the tools, support, or safety we needed to acknowledge and accept pain in our past. It's okay. We're safe now. Slowly, carefully, we can begin to open ourselves up to our feelings. We can begin the process of feeling what we have denied so long. Not to blame, not to shame, but to heal ourselves in preparation for a better life. It's okay to cry when we need to cry and feel the sadness many of us have stored within for so long. We can feel and release these feelings. Grief is a cleansing process. It's an acceptance process. It moves us from our past into today and into a better future. A future free of sabotaging behaviors. A future that holds more options than our past. God, as I move through this day, let me be open to my feelings. Today, help me know that I don't have to either force or repress the healing available to me in recovery. Help me trust that if I am open and available, the healing will happen naturally in a manageable way.
Letting go of sad.
Oh my goodness.
I have no other option but to think of the character Sad in
the movie Inside Out.
Inside Out. And just to see how Sad was not accepted. And at the beginning, she writes about denial of our emotions. And that's what I'm speaking on today, denial. And so Sad was not accepted. And Sad wasn't fun. And Sad was pushed away. Mm-hmm. And then there was an incident where somebody was really sad and upset. And Sad sat down with the character and just listened. And then Sad
said,
acknowledged.
Yeah, that's really sad.
Yeah. And then that made the character feel better. And they got up and it was all over with. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's the cleansing process of sad. Like to be able to acknowledge that we're sad and to be able to sit and hear somebody. Can you hear somebody's sadness and just be okay with it and say, man, that's sad. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then not get stuck in the reaction of sad. I think that's where we can be consumed with self-pity, and then we're living in the past because I'm only sad because of what happened.
So I think if we're doing the work, like if we're doing this work, if we're and doing the work involves more than just attending a couple meetings a week or reading a book or
whoa.
But if we're doing the work, if we're working through our stuff, if we're working through a process of recovery, it keeps us moving and connects us to God in a continuous way that actually gets deeper and deeper. And then those blocks, grief and anger and like fear and resentment, like all those things get removed, and then we can actually move forward. And I feel like so often people say like, oh, time heals, but it really doesn't, because like when I left things...
Isn't that a lie? It's one of those lies.
It really is.
Time heals all wounds.
Time helps me forget. Like time helps, some of the pain lessen, but I remember so distinctly reacting to things and thinking like, something would happen in today or today's moment, something would happen. And my reaction, I knew that thing that just happened was like a 2. And my reaction's like a 10 plus. What's going on here? But I'm not reacting to what happened today. Mm-hmm. I'm reacting to like the last, 20 years of my life. And so time didn't help those things get better. Mm-hmm. Time didn't lessen the pain.
It actually made it more confusing.
Why am I reacting like this? Confusing.
Yeah. So we go through our past to get to our future, our present, because that's where God is. There's something about being sad that something deep inside of me likes to hold on to that. Because I think it's actually like, it's unhealthy in a way because I'm actually living in the past and not the present. God is in the present. So where there's fear and self-pity and condemnation, and if I'm reacting to sadness, I'm living in the past. Resentment is about living in the future, and I want to be in the present, connected to God. The sunlight of the Spirit of God.
Yeah. I think that there is definitely...
I like how we're wearing blue.
I know.
Representing blue. Sad. The character Sad was blue, right? Mm-hmm. Well, what do you think?
I'm just going to go be sad.
Are you? Do you feel sad?
No.
Okay.
So there's often like a tinge of like sadness within like other stuff too. So within like the good and the yeah. So yesterday I was on a call, like a Zoom call, and the person said like, I miss like the before and after conversations, like the chit chat before and after a meeting. And I started to cry.
Really?
And I left the meeting. It was over. The meeting was over and we were leaving.
You quit on them.
I did. I was like, I miss it too. And then I was crying and, that was it. Like there wasn't like an invitation to stay. Like the meeting was over. And so I just was like, yeah. And then I got really teary. And so I just left. And so I do think that, yeah, I do. There's a kind of a tinge of sadness to these days often.
Sadness lingers a little.
Yeah. And like, I don't sit in it, and I'm not going to just like
sadness.
Feel sorry for myself because we're all in it. We're all.
The one thing I've come to realize is that since COVID, my emotions are much near the surface,
closer to the surface.
Yeah. So I can hit this and that within the same like 10 minutes
because there's not as many distractions.
So,
no distractions.
But I think the heightened news and Facebook and all the stuff in the States and like all that, it's just like.
It's really
emotional barometer is up a lot. What is super
helpful? Helpful.
Going for walks at 2:30. Stick to itness. You tell me.
Going for a walk.
Shut up.
Getting outside and going for a walk.
Or
not watching the news.
I'm gonna let go of guilt. I'm just gonna let go of the guilt. And if you need to go for a walk, if we. Do you want to go for a walk today? At 2:30? I can go for a walk. I'm free at 1:30.
I have a call. Probably
we can figure this out. Probably,
but yes,
off camera.
If you don't have a schedule, like I could go when my call ends around.
Bye, my friends. If you comment, share, or like, we will put you in the month end draw for a piece of swag.
Clothing,
apparel.
What's swag?
Like a shirt or a hoodie or a hat or kombucha. All right, bye, friends. Keep your distance and what else?
Just press stop.
No, you press
It's
stop.
over.
Okay. All right. Bye, guys.